So I was rummaging through some things the other day and found this. This is a build from a while ago when I was first working with cardboard, and while I don't think it's particularly bad, I do think I can improve it. I was not very gentle when I was building it, which caused a lot of creases, especially here in the chin, and the card I used was much thicker than what I use now. So while I built this, I wanted to share some tips and tricks on how I could remake this into this. Here is the model we'll be working with. I've edited it from its original pattern to better suit a cardboard build. Due to the nature of cardboard, some parts like this will still have to have join lines on them. I have also separated these into sections to make things easier to build. The top row is for the top of the helmet. This row is for the sides and the bottom. These are for the chin. This is the very top. And the last row is for the faceplate. So for my personal build, I'm using this model, which I have measured the width of the inside to be 178mm, but I will also be including in the description below templates that are 10% smaller and 10% larger to suit your needs. Now, someone asked me if there's a way to double check the sizing before making the whole helmet and realizing it's too small. What I typically do is once I've printed out the templates, I take a large piece like this lower half of the faceplate and just bend it to how it would approximately be. Measuring that against my face allows me to gauge if it's too big or too small, and that will save a lot of time down the line. This is the type of cardboard I use. It is about 1.5mm in thickness. I found the thinner the card, the smoother the quality is of the final product. This thicker card shows crease lines much clearer. One little trick with cardboard is it can be very curved, but only in one direction. So take a look at the perforation, which is those little squiggly lines, and which way they go. And you want to place your templates in a way that it will curve along with the perforation of the card. And we're going to keep doing this until we have all our templates on the card. There are multiple ways to attach the templates to the card, but what works best for me is to attach them all with some masking tape to hold them in place so I can transfer them all at once. Add a little dash to each side of the fold line, so once you take off the paper template, you're able to transfer the fold lines to the cardboard template as well. Pieces like these, where this piece is below or behind other pieces, such as this part, what we're going to do is add on what I call a ledge for these pieces to sit on. Okay, these are the pieces we saw in the model view that we now have drawn onto the card. We're going to take the bottom edge of this piece, and all we're going to do is extend that edge out by a couple of millimeters. And this gives it a ledge that the piece in front of it can rest on. And we're going to do the same for this part, which needs one ledge at the bottom and one ledge at the side, since two of its edges are below other parts. But don't worry, I'll be marking which edges need extending on the templates in the description below. This is perhaps the most important step for me in making a smoother cardboard build, as it allows for cleaner join lines and much easier manipulation of each template. Once you have all your cardboard pieces prepped, there's nothing left to do but cut them out. For that, I tend to use a cheap scalpel, which allows me to get more precision than I would get with scissors. Now I will admit there are a lot of pieces, but I promise you taking it a section at a time will make the process a lot more manageable. Now this step is completely optional, and I only do it to add a little highlight and put a bit of flair onto my cardboard builds. I take just a simple metallic marker, like this Vacky marker I bought off Amazon, and color in all the pieces required for that section. I prefer doing this step now rather than afterwards, as it's a lot easier to get into the small crevices where joins happen. What I'm doing here is picking away the lower edge of the card template so that the faces of any joining pieces will sit flush with each other, essentially performing an undercut. Typically, pre-bending parts before joining them all together is better, as it can avoid unwanted dents in the cardboard and allow for slightly easier handling while gluing. I chose to include the building of the earpods in this video, as it is a great small section to start off with building, especially if this is your first time working with cardboard, as it uses all of the small tricks I've mentioned earlier in this video. I try to avoid gluing long sections at once when I'm building. This allows me to get a cleaner join line and lowers the risk of the glue drying before I'm able to attach the rest. Using the ledge method mentioned earlier allows me to slide this part in behind the top layer without awkwardly joining the edges underneath. This will save you a lot of time, and it will also reduce the risk of crinkling the edges as you try to force them to join from the underside. Once again, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, please do me a favor and hit that like button. If you're new and wanting to find your way back to the channel, please consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, and of course, the second part to this build.